You're listening to RTLSA.
You are indeed, and we're getting into Arsenal Thursday today, and I've got a ton of questions to get through, so I'm going to try and work through them as fast as possible. Right, so where should we start? Because I got a ton. I'll also take some live voice notes as well, but I'll get into that. So let's start with some of the questions I received, and when I said earlier that it was a little bit uncomfortable, because when I started this feature, I didn't necessarily expect it to be much about me. But a lot of you want to know a lot, so I will answer them the best I can. Starting off, Lauren asked, what is something that you should do but will never do? That's a toughie. Something that I should do but will never do. I should go skydiving. That's what I should, but probably never. I don't know. I don't know. That's a toughie. Really tough one, Lauren. Thank you very much. Do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert? It depends on the time of the day. I like to think I'm more introverted than extroverted, surprisingly enough, considering what I do for a living. But it just depends on the situation. I can be either or. So I'm an introverted extrovert. How's that? Does that answer your question? Would I consider myself a naturally trusting or a more guarded person? Lauren, the thing here is, I don't believe that trust is earned. I believe that trust is given. And when you give someone trust, you place the onus on them to guard that trust, so to say. I think this entering into relationships and friendships with people and saying, you've got to earn my trust, is already setting it up for failure. And, I just believe that you should trust first. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't go looking for an issue before one is actually created. And I think a lot of the time that's what we do. We take our own baggage and issues into a relationship and don't trust anybody. And, it takes a long time for people to break down other people's walls and stuff like that. So to answer the question, I think I'm a naturally trusting person. Although with that said, the older I get, maybe the more guarded I become as well. Who knows? We shouldn't, but it does sometimes. Voice note.
Now that masks are no longer a legal requirement, will you continue to wear one?
Oh, hell no. Why the hell would I want to continue wearing masks, Bob? the moment I don't have to wear a mask, Bob, I will not wear a mask. Will you? No, definitely not. The moment that we can throw the masks away, I will be super excited. And that could be now, immediately, because I think the press conference is underway as we speak. Ryan wants to know, what the F is up with my Facebook posts? It's funny you should ask that question, because this week a lot of people have been asking me that question. Right, let me explain to this. And I have put this disclaimer up on Facebook before. Not everything I share on Facebook is necessarily indicative of what is going on in my life or how I feel. Very often what I do is I share posts that are interesting and can help other people as well. Sometimes they are targeted and put up there for someone else's benefit, but most times they are just things to think of and think about. All of us, not just me specifically. So from that perspective, I've got something flying around me in the studio here. From that perspective, what's going on with my Facebook posts? Nothing. I'm just sharing some good stuff. Okay. And I'm hoping that whatever I share lands for someone else. And that's really what it boils down to. Cheryl wants to know, what am I truly afraid of? Cheryl, to be honest with you, I've got fearless on my arm, tattooed on my arm. And the reason for that was to live fearlessly. But one thing that is very important is that people acknowledge that they have fears and acknowledge the fears that they have. So what am I truly afraid of? Well, failure for one. I have this paralyzing fear of failure at anything, be it on the sports field, in relationships, doing what I am doing now, I really don't like the idea of failure. And it sounds like a good thing, but it could also be a bad thing. It could be debilitating sometimes as well. So to answer that question, I think that my biggest fear is failure. Do I believe in reincarnation? No, I do not. There's no scientific evidence to support it. And I believe that the mind plays tricks on people. So you may feel that you are reincarnated, but I don't necessarily believe that that is the case. What is something that I hope will never change? Your listenership, your support for RTL. I really hope that that would never change. That's just one thing. But there's quite a few things, I reckon. No, I'm not going to get into anything. No, tough question. And if I start talking about it, I'm going to talk for a long time. I've got some more voice notes to get into. So let me just find the folder there. Okay, where are we? Sarah sent me like a ton of questions.
Hey, Noel, if money wasn't an option, what car would you buy?
I would go with a Ford Ranger. You know, so many people are quick to say, okay, well, if I want so much money, I would go and buy a Lamborghini or a Porsche. I'm quite a functional person, so if money wasn't a problem, I would still go and buy something that's more functional than fancy.
Hey, Noel, what's the first thing you do in the morning?
Wake up. Get out of bed. Okay, no, I make my bed. That is the first thing I do. That is, I believe, one of the most important things that anybody can do any day. So even before I put the kettle on, the bed gets made. Definitely the first thing I do in the morning.
Hey, Noel, have you ever kissed a boy?
That's a hard no.
Hey, Noel, are you a blonde or brunette kind of guy?
I'm not particularly fussy. I do like blondes, but I've only dated one or two in my life. I don't think I've ever really dated many blondes, but I really don't mind too much.
Hey, Noel, when you're about to sleep at night, what are your deepest thoughts about?
Oh dear, what have I got to do tomorrow? That's probably it. No, like I was saying on the show on Tuesday, I did an all-nighter on Tuesday night, on Monday night, and I was very deep in thought about a lot of different things. And it just depends on what's baking me at the time. And Monday night in particular was service. A few years ago, just before COVID, I was very involved in serving people, be it feeding the homeless or raising money for charities and stuff like that. And then obviously since COVID hit, I haven't done much of that. So Monday night, for example, that was something that was really bugging me, and that's what I was thinking about before I fell asleep, which I never did.
Hi, hey, Noel, if you had money, would you be like a snappy dresser, or would you wear shorts and a t-shirt and slops? Hey, Noel. No, I'm joking. Answer that one. Hey, Noel, what's your idea of the perfect date?
Okay.
Hey, Noel,
That's like two questions in there. Okay, firstly, no. I dig my slops. So, no, I don't think, again, if money wasn't an issue, I don't think I would change much. I might just buy more expensive slops. And what was the second question again?
Hey, Noel, what's your idea of the perfect date?
Oh, man. Quality time, I reckon. Just quality time. I don't have any particular preferences when it comes to the perfect date. You know, some people say it must be exhilarating and entertaining and whatever. I just think the perfect date is something that involves quality time.
Hey, Noel, do you still open doors for ladies?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's ingrained in me, man, and it should be ingrained in most men. That's one thing that has it kind of grates me. And I was like sitting the other day, and there was this young couple. When I say young, they must have been in the early 20s or something like that. And they were sitting at the restaurant, and they looked all lovey-dovey, and they just looked like a really sweet young couple. And they left the venue, and I watched them leaving, and they went to the car, and she went to the one side and he went to the other side. And I thought to myself, that is not cool. He should have been there opening the door for her, because that is manners and that is gentlemanly, and I'm very passionate about that. With that said, however, women need to expect it, because I've come across women in my life that don't necessarily fancy it, because they want to be independent, or alternatively, they're not used to it, or something like that. And I really think that women should expect a man to be a gentleman as well, and choose accordingly when it comes to things like that. But no, certainly, definitely, doors need to be opened for ladies.
Hi, Noel. I'm very curious. Is that your bed that you sleep in behind you, or is it just for show?
Well, now, wouldn't you like to know? No, it is a bed that I sleep in sometimes, depending on where I'm sleeping. It's not an ornament. It's not for show. It is functional. I use it to put guitars on, and books, and jerseys, and blankets, and my headphones. So, yeah, no, it is a bed, but it's a dual purpose bed, so to say. Right, that's where we're going to wrap it up as well. Thanks for putting me on the spot. I feel so uncomfortable now. I feel like you know so much about me now, and I don't know anything about you. So I think I should create a feature where I start asking you questions. No, but anyway, that's what Arsenal Thursday is all about.
You're listening to RTLSA.